In the heart of the vibrant city of Udom, there was a young woman named Marianne. Full of life and dreams, Marianne found love in the arms of Samuel, a man who seemed to be the ideal partner. But not everything was as it seemed. Before the wedding, Marianne's mother was deeply concerned. "He is not who he claims to be," she warned, her words laden with anguish and despair. Marianne, however, was in love and determined. "Samuel is my choice, mother. I must marry him." The arguments were frequent, each one more heated than the last. Her mother's tears were not enough to change Marianne's heart. And then, in a gesture of desperation and pain, the mother made a promise: "If you marry him, I will disown you." But love, oh, love, it blinds, it is obstinate. Marianne followed her heart, ignoring the warnings and threats. On the day of the wedding, as the bells rang and people smiled, Marianne sealed her fate with Samuel, believing that love would conquer all. Little did she know that that decision would be the beginning of a journey full of challenges and painful revelations. Marianne was about to discover that sometimes, love can lead us to make decisions that will change our lives forever. This is a tale of love, resilience, and the harsh lessons life teaches us. Prepare to delve into the story of Marianne and Samuel, where every choice has its consequences and every heart bears its scars. Stay with us as we unravel the story of marriage against family's will, and how Marianne and Samuel's love was tested in ways they could never have imagined. In Udom, a once prosperous town, Samuel and Marianne's lives were marked by love and hope for a promising future. But destiny had other plans. One night, a devastating storm descended upon Udom. Furious winds and torrential rains swept through the city, destroying everything in their path. Homes, businesses, lives, nothing was spared. Samuel, a dedicated merchant, saw his livelihood swept away by the relentless waters. In a matter of hours, everything he had built was reduced to rubble and debris. His business, his pride, his future. Todo esteve perdido. Como a tempestade, veio a pobreza. Samuel, once filled with dreams, now found himself with nothing. Each day was a struggle, a battle to find food, to survive. Depression consumed him, and hope became a distant memory. Marianne, by his side, shared in this pain. Without resources, without support, they faced the harsh reality of an uncertain future. Hunger and misery knocked at their door, and with each dawn, a new challenge arose. But even in the darkest nights, there is always a spark of hope. Amidst the despair, Samuel remembered the words of an old friend. A distant city, a promise of new opportunities. Determined to change his family's fate, Samuel decided to risk everything on a journey to an unknown place. A journey that could be his only chance for redemption, the last hope for a better future. Upon arriving in the city of F, Samuel found himself in a completely new world. It was a vibrant city, full of opportunities he could only have dreamed of in Udom. With determination in his eyes and hope in his heart, he began his search for employment. Soon, Samuel found work as a car washer at the mansion of Helen, a woman of extraordinary wealth and influence. Helen had inherited a vast empire from her father, and her mansion was a reflection of her fortune and power. Day after day, Samuel devoted himself to his work with unmatched passion. He washed each car with precision, cleaned every corner of the mansion with care. He knew this was his chance to change his destiny. But there was something Samuel hid, a secret he could not reveal. Samuel never mentioned Marianne to Helen. For all intents and purposes, he was a single man, without ties or obligations. He knew that in a city where appearance and connections mattered so much, his past in Udom and his marriage to Marianne could be insurmountable obstacles. Meanwhile, Helen began to notice Samuel's diligence and dedication. He was unlike the other workers. His commitment caught her attention, and one evening, she invited him to a special dinner. Helen wore a beautiful dress, and the table was filled with fine and delicious dishes. Surprised by Helen's beauty and generosity, Samuel felt even more determined to seize the opportunity at hand. It was the beginning of a new chapter, but also the start of a web of secrets and lies. As Samuel forged ahead in his new life, the shadow of his past continued to loom. He knew he was treading a dangerous path, but the promise of wealth and a better life for Marianne propelled him forward. After being disinherited by her family and abandoned by her husband, Marianne found herself alone and without support. Every day, Marianne faced the harsh reality of her new life in Udom. The men of the village, sensing her vulnerability, began to approach her with various intentions. Among them was a wealthy and influential merchant. For months, he tried to win Marianne over, but she remained faithful to Samuel, even without news from him. As time passed, Marianne continued to hear nothing from Samuel. Loneliness and despair began to weigh heavily on her heart. It was then that A made a proposal. He offered her the money needed to travel to the city of F and search for Samuel. But there was a price. Reluctantly, Marianne agreed to have a drink with A. Little did she know, the drink was spiked. Waking up the next morning, shame and guilt consumed her. Nevertheless, determined to find Samuel and resolve her fate, Marianne decided to accept A's money. With the necessary resources in hand, Marianne began her long journey to the city of F. She knew this trip would be filled with challenges, but nothing could deter her determination to find Samuel and uncover the truth. The road was arduous and lonely, but Marianne remained steadfast. Each step brought her closer to her goal, each day brought her nearer to the answers she so desperately sought. She knew that the search for Samuel would be the ultimate test of her courage and resilience. Marianne, disinherited and abandoned, faced the scorn and advances of men with ill intentions. But it was her courage and determination that set her on the path to truth. The quest for Samuel was not just a journey to find her husband, but also a journey of self-discovery and redemption. After days of exhausting travel, Marianne finally arrived in the city of F. Her hopes renewed as she spotted the grand mansion where Samuel now resided. But instead of a joyful reunion, a cruel reality awaited her. Marianne knocked on the mansion's door. Samuel, upon seeing her, went pale with shock. He quickly ushered her into one of the guest rooms, away from Helen's curious eyes, the wealthy wife he had won through deception. "Marianne, what are you doing here?" he asked, his voice a mix of fear and anger. Marianne, tears in her eyes, replied, "I came for you, Samuel. It's been 5 years. You promised to come back." Desperate, Samuel begged Marianne to keep his secret. He revealed the truth: he had married Helen for her wealth and power. And now, to maintain his disguise, he asked Marianne to pretend to be a household servant. Against her pride and dignity, Marianne agreed. She took on the role of a servant in Helen's house, enduring the humiliations and the pain of seeing her husband live a life of luxury beside another woman. Every day, Marianne cleaned, cooked, and served, always watching from a distance the life Samuel had built on the foundation of his lie. At night, while Helen slept, Samuel secretly visited Marianne, trying to comfort her with empty promises of a future together. Oblivious to the true relationship between Samuel and Marianne, Helen blindly trusted her husband. She never suspected that the new servant, who had come from the street of F in search of work, was actually Samuel's rightful wife. But secrets have a way of coming to light, and the tension in Helen's house grows with each passing day. Marianne finds herself trapped in a cruel game where the truth could destroy everything Samuel has built, yet the lie continues to consume her soul. Marianne is caught in a cycle of deceit and sacrifice. Her arrival in F brought more than just the search for her husband, it brought a confrontation with bitter truths and a test of her own resilience. How long can she endure? And when will the truth finally be revealed? The truth has an unrelenting way of surfacing, and on that fateful night, Samuel's secrets could no longer remain hidden. Helen, concealed behind the door, hears every word of the argument between Samuel and Marianne. "You are ungrateful. After everything I've done for you," Samuel shouts. Marianne, her voice filled with pain, responds, "You left me, married another woman, and forgot about me." Helen, heartbroken and furious, enters the room. "So, this is the truth you've hidden from me, Samuel." Marianne is not just a servant. She is your wife? The betrayal is unbearable for Helen. She, who blindly trusted Samuel, feels deeply betrayed. With a firm gesture, she expels Samuel from her life and her home. Samuel, devastated and left with nothing but a box of clothes, returns to Udom. He now faces the harsh reality of his choices, a man who lost everything due to his greed and dishonesty. Meanwhile, Marianne finds solace and support in Helen, who, despite her pain, decides to help her. With Helen's assistance, Marianne returns to Udom, determined to start anew. Upon arriving in Udom, Marianne reunites with her parents. With a heavy heart, she asks for forgiveness for not heeding their advice. Her parents, moved, forgive her and welcome her back into their arms. Time passes, and Marianne begins to rebuild her life. With the support of her family and friends, she finds the strength to move forward. A. The merchant, remorseful for his past actions, approaches her with sincerity and respect. A. Determined to redeem himself, proposes a future alongside Marianne. She, now stronger and more aware of her choices, accepts the proposal. Together, they build a life based on respect and true love. Helen also finds happiness. She marries a man who truly loves her and accepts her children as his own. Both Helen and Marianne find a new beginning after the storms in their lives. And as for Samuel, he spends the rest of his days in Udom, reflecting on his choices and living with the weight of his actions. His story serves as a reminder of the consequences of dishonesty and greed. The truth may hurt, but it also sets free. Marianne and Helen are proof that, despite adversities, it is possible to find happiness and redemption. Each choice has its consequences, and each truth revealed brings with it the opportunity for a new beginning. Our choices shape our destiny. The story of Samuel, Marianne, and Helen reminds us of this profoundly. Samuel chose love but ignored his family's warnings and the consequences of his actions. When the devastating storm hit Edom, he lost everything. Desperate, Samuel set off in search of promised wealth in a distant city. He hid his past from Marianne, marrying Helen and keeping his true identity a secret. Meanwhile, Marianne, disowned and abandoned, faced unwanted advances and made a desperate decision to find her husband. The truth came to light when Helen discovered Samuel's deception. With courage, she expelled Samuel from her life, allowing Marianne to reconcile with her family and find support. This story reminds us of the importance of listening to others' advice, being honest with ourselves and others, and accepting our own mistakes. It underscores the need for transparency in relationships and the unconditional support of friends and family when making important decisions. In the end, Samuel faced the consequences of his choices, while Marianne and Helen found redemption and new beginnings. The moral of this story is clear: every decision we make shapes our path. Honesty and transparency are virtues that lead to a future of happiness and peace. May each of us find the strength to be true to ourselves and those around us. Because, in the end, it is honesty that sets us free and leads us to true success. Ultimately, Samuel's pursuit of wealth led him down a path of deceit, causing pain and upheaval in the lives of those around him. Marianne, driven by love and later by necessity, faced hardships but remained steadfast in her search for truth and reconciliation. Helen's discovery of Samuel's betrayal marked a turning point, highlighting the importance of integrity and trust in relationships. As Samuel grappled with the repercussions of his actions, Marianne and Helen found solace in their newfound strength and resilience. Marianne's return to her family and Helen's ability to move forward with honesty and dignity became symbols of hope and renewal. Their journeys underscored the enduring value of sincerity and the power of forgiveness. In the end, this tale serves as a poignant reminder that while wealth and ambition may promise prosperity, it is integrity and authenticity that pave the way to genuine fulfillment and harmony. Each character's path, woven with challenges and choices, reflects the universal truth that honesty not only defines our character but also shapes our destiny. May we all heed the lessons learned from Samuel, Marianne, and Helen, and strive for lives guided by truth, transparency, and compassion. This story resonates deeply with the timeless lessons of honesty, resilience, and redemption. Samuel's journey, marked by ambition and deception, ultimately led to his downfall, serving as a cautionary tale about the consequences of prioritizing material gain over integrity. Marianne, despite enduring abandonment and hardship, exemplified unwavering determination and a commitment to truth. Her resilience in the face of adversity stands as a testament to the strength found in honesty and self-awareness. Helen's role in uncovering Samuel's deceit was pivotal, illustrating the transformative power of confronting truth and reclaiming personal integrity. Her decision to expel Samuel from her life not only liberated her from betrayal but also allowed Marianne to reconcile with her family and find renewed support. At its core, this narrative underscores the fundamental importance of transparency in relationships and the profound impact of accepting responsibility for one's actions. Samuel's downfall serves as a stark reminder that dishonesty erodes trust and fractures bonds, while Marianne and Helen's journeys toward forgiveness and renewal highlight the enduring value of authenticity and compassion. In conclusion, the moral of this story remains clear: each decision we make shapes our path. It is through embracing honesty, both with ourselves and with others, that we pave the way for genuine happiness and fulfillment. May we all find the courage to live authentically, guided by the principles of truth and empathy, knowing that in the end, it is honesty that truly sets us free and leads us to true success.